All right, we're back with snack time. You asked for it. You asked for it. You asked for it. I don't even know which camera's on. Doesn't matter. Guess what? I'm not running the cameras this time around. A lot of you are like, what is this guy freaking talking about? I did the shot of my living room in the pandemic, and it's back. It's back with a live studio audience. You can't hear them right now. You know why? Because they're watching the Knicks game. That's why. Okay? Don't worry about that part. We're here at Fortune Studios. We got the beautiful New York City skyline. Not even Jimmy Fallon has that, right? Parks Department, snack time, we're back. We have new snacks for you. I don't even know, does that mean we're innovating snacks? Maybe. You're going to find out. We're going to have some fun guests, again, in the entertainment field, in the food field, in the downtown scene. Does that still exist? Up for debate. But my first guest today is somebody who's very special to me, and I think to the downtown scene and to the food world, to several worlds. We're going to get into it with him, and that's why he's my guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to my friend, Roman Grandinetti. Come on in. How are you, dude?
How are you, sir?
Thank you for doing this.
Good to see you.
Not even going to button this.
What's happening?
Let's sit.
Let's do
He
it.
brings his own water.
Yeah. Stay hydrated.
I love it.
What's happening?
Chilling, how are you?
I'm well.
Yeah?
I'm well.
So, Roman Grandinetti from Regina's. I think that's how people would know you now, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. He's already like, well, you know, it's not all I do. It's like, come on, Rome. That's your biggest hit at the moment.
Biggest hit? Yes.
Definitely.
I would say. Definitely.
Definitely. But let's talk about, give me like, how did you, I know about the photography, the DJing, let's let the people know a bit, like kind of how you came into the creative community and how that led you to food.
How did I?
Or is that even a fair question? How? Yeah.
I think how it started was sneakers.
Okay.
Started with sneakers. There was a love of sneakers. I started reselling sneakers, but I could go back a second, and I think the love of sneakers came from I wanted to make money and I wanted to work for myself at a very young age. Sneakers were my first entrepreneurial opportunity.
Oh, I had no idea.
Reselling sneakers. Very young age, I was selling a lot of sneakers and was picked up by a gentleman named Leo, who was amazing, and he brought me on to Bathing Ape. Bathing Ape is really what started my creative career, wanting to be an entrepreneur in that space. A gentleman of Steve Rifkin walked in. His wife at the time said, rappers get discounts. No one knows my husband. Me being from where I grew up in Brooklyn, Wu-Tang, the whole 9 yards, wanting to be in marketing. I knew exactly who Steve Rifkin was, and you should if you don't.
Of course.
Loud Records.
Loud Records.
She asked for a discount, I asked for a job. That Tuesday, I was in.
This is very Roman. How old are you at this point, by the way?
I think I was like 18 or 19.
Yeah, I'm surprised you weren't 15, knowing you. Yeah,
and that was my entry into the creative world. He gave me an opportunity.
That's so crazy.
He let me listen to all the marketing meetings, and he changed my life. I was packing records at the time, which makes sense from my love of music and becoming a DJ. But he gave me my opportunity, and he was a definite ear, and he was amazing.
Okay, and then we went into you DJ'd, you started taking photos, you got the Sal and the this and the that, right?
Well, Sal was my my bridge to downtown.
Let people know who that is in case they don't know. Because there's going to be millions of people watching this, okay?
He's the real person to be in this seat.
Well, he's not here right now.
He's done, he is a very, very, I would like to call him like a big brother of mine. He adopted me, brought me into the city, and seriously changed my life. Okay. He showed me that there was something on the other side of the bridge that was worth something, and there was a value out leaving the neighborhood where my father, brought me into the city to go to high school. I went to art and design high school, which also changed my life. But it was still this like ping pong, and Sal showed me this other world, and he was the one that told me to DJ. He got me into modeling. He got me into 100 things, and he's like a crazy like confidence builder. But no one has more confidence than that man in this world.
That's a fact.
So I think that's it.
If you guys know Sal, it's like who picks up and just moves to Japan and takes over. I don't really get
pretty
it.
much. Yeah, see, I mean, he went over a different pond, but yeah, he's taken over there. But yeah, Sal was my entry in. Then DJing was a beautiful world at the time. DJing mattered, music mattered. It was very, very stressful at the time. I was, you couldn't be 2 seconds short of any record. And I developed a family that everyone in that family was unbelievably creative, and they became truly my family. Sherry, to this day, is like a guardian angel for me. And that whole entire team has coasted and brought me to where I am. DJing brought me into Connected. Steve Rifkin had a huge hand in that and allowing me to become a marketing agency. And then we just broke every rule that we possibly could and have fun and picked up cameras, picked up paintbrushes, posters, whatever
That's the thing, man. It's like, I mean, talk about a multidisciplinary kind of artist, marketer guy. You were doing it from a very young age, which is really great. That's why when you settle down, we'll get into the restaurant in a second. Okay. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, he'll make it work though, And it's like, I still see you as this guy who's like, I was actually describing you to someone today. It's like, he's always like running. I don't know. I think that might be a bad thing. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? But as it grows and grows, I think you'll figure the structure out if you haven't already. I don't know. But like, you're always like, pop, 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 like you're there's never a stop button for you.
Yeah, I definitely don't, I don't disagree. I think where my life is today, a lot of those things beautifully have helped me and understand that slowing down is valuable. I was always just my own worst enemy in all of these things. And if I didn't have another project, or if I didn't have something to market or promote or to do or to offer, I felt like I wasn't of value. I didn't know what it was. I was always like, I'm in the service business. I feel like I was always in the service business. So yeah, if I didn't have the next thing, I was always worried.
Very cool. Before we get to the your food business, this show is called Snack Time.
Yes, sir.
You bring a snack and I bring a snack. So I want you to, you got your little snack in the snack pouch there, right? That you brought me? Okay.
Correct.
I got, mine's over to the side because it was going to give away too much.
Okay.
So I'm going to go get that while you get this. I'll be right back. Don't worry. Be nice to my set. Don't break anything. Oh, bong. What do you got?
Oh, whoa.
Oh, wow, it's right. What do you got?
Very beautiful.
I can't say I made it. Oh!
Okay.
This kind of, can you tell them?
I
see it is, it's a different flavor. I see that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And I thank you.
Very, very well.
Can you tell the people what's going on here?
That is the best and the worst thing that comes out of Italy. I think being in a position of myself and coming where I come from as well, I was like raised, I loved devil dogs growing up. And I loved Entenmann's devil food cake. This predominantly comes in a vanilla cake.
Yes,
but
Balconi Mix Max.
Exactly.
La merenda, where's my camera? I need to know which one my camera is, director. La merenda per te e tuoi bambini. Balconi Mix Max. Give us some money, all right? All right? Sorry, go ahead.
And this has arrived through the door with new packaging, new logo, and it fits me very well.
It is.
From the gold to the chocolate, I am very,
it is a new logo.
Very happy.
Well,
I'm very happy.
And you happen to know that I like these.
Yes. You were very, very happy to see them. And I loved that you loved how we had them in the store. And you actually made me more confident in the snacking that it was an Italian thing.
Well, yeah, because I was born in Italy and I lived there and all, and I had these during my childhood.
Yes.
So I moved to California when I was 7. It's not about me; it's about Roman. But the point being, I was very happy to see these, as you might remember. Now your snack, I have an explainer for this snack. Okay.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
Okay. All right. It's on a Lumon. It's on a Lumon napkin, which is very cool. That's from the TV show.
It's very cool.
Severance.
Severance, yes.
Correct. Okay. This comes from Sakabara Asoko.
Okay.
Okay? You know them.
Yes.
Trust me. Yeah. Now, this is what is this? Iburigako, which is smoked daikon radish, smoked daikon radish pickles and cream cheese with crackers. Iburikako cheese, they call it. There's your snack, sir. Let me know what you think about it. We do eat on camera on this show. They said hi, by the way.
Okay.
Sakabat Asoko is across the street from the studio, very conveniently placed. Ariana and Cho said hello.
How you doing?
And they said that you're supposed to go there at some point, and I'm sure you will.
Yes.
Maybe after the show.
We communicate a lot. I have to make my way over there. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. That's still.
This is
How
great.
we doing? It should be
very-
amazing, right?
It's amazing.
You know, it's a sake bar,
Yeah, but not what I.
but they have little foods and
Yeah.
stuff. It's great.
I'm very into it.
Yeah.
The smoked radishes, very good.
Oh my God. Can you hear that? Is that ASMR for you guys?
Whoa, this is very good. I'm also starving.
This is del-
Perfect.
You can eat it all. What So you've yet to go there. Talk to me about like starting Regina's, without you don't have to give me the everyday spiel, but
Regina.
give me your spiel. How about that?
All right. It started out as it was a time in New York where print magazine was dying, and I think all the stores that I loved were closing. And I felt like that part of New York was disappearing. So it was also a financial time as well. My office at the time was going to double the price. We had Connected had been in an office for about 5 years.
Connected is your marketing agency, in case people, I'm sure they got that, but yeah.
So the agency's office was going to double. So we had to move. I wanted to do something more forward-facing. We were doing events. I was like, it could be, a bookstore. It could be a magazine store, and I could sell espresso. I always wanted to do food. It was my dream since I was very, very little. Sadly, didn't have the money or the time to go to culinary school. We got into this. But as the location started building and as time started moving on, my friends, a very good friend of mine was like, oh, you always wanted to do food. I had this wacky idea for a concept called Mama's Boy, and he made fun of me. It was like the Guido Subway. And he was like, yo, maybe you should attempt to do this. And a very, very good friend of mine who's like my brother was at the time explaining these sandwiches, which I know you know, like tramanzini. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, that's what you should do. No one does it. Espresso and this. And then as the idea started like panning out and we were thinking of names, we were all hanging out outside the shop and they were like, yo, scratch that name. Every Italian place where we grew up was someone's
You
name.
already had leased the shop at this point, and you were
Yeah.
like, I got to figure this out.
Yeah, we leased the
so
space
wild.
and we were like, yo, we're going to do this no matter what.
We don't know
I've
what
never
we're
made a
doing, but we're
sandwich.
doing it.
I've never made a sandwich. I've never used a slicer, nothing. We're all hanging out
But you grew up in
outside.
Brooklyn, and you like in southern Brooklyn, if you will. I don't know, Bensonhurst,
Yeah.
very Italian neighborhood.
Yeah, pretty Italian.
I mean, I went to 4th of July there in 2003, and I looked at my friend who took me 3 hours in, and I said, hey, there's no black people here. He goes, do you know where you are? And none of the kids are racist.
Oh,
That's the thing. They're all, but it's just like,
never, yeah.
he's like, this is like a different kind of neighborhood. Yeah.
It's a very small, tight-knit neighborhood, but we
It's
were across the
different
way
now, though,
from
right?
Coney Island.
Yeah.
So that's why there was never a thought. It was never a thought process of anything. And we also grew up.
That's the thing. It just happened to be that the people
Yeah.
kept staying there and kept
Yeah.
staying there. It didn't move. I think that's changed now, right?
It's definitely opened up, but the weird thing was it was also, once you cross another avenue, it was a completely different race. And then
Yeah.
if you went 2 avenues over, then it was a totally different culture. They were neighboring. And now it's a little bit more mixed. Sunset Park meets Bay Ridge, it's definitely changed.
But I have to say, I still see some of those lines in the most positive way still. Like now, as you know, I live in southern Brooklyn. It's like, I do see the dividing lines, but it's like, it's not a negative thing. And there's places where everyone kind of comes together and like lives. It's not like they come to get some kumbaya. They come together and like sing, but they just live amongst each other. But they also happen to like living amongst like their, the
Yeah.
people from Bangladesh live together and whatever,
For sure.
the people in Little Haiti, what have you.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I think comfort in your living
I'm like, New York is really
experience.
cool.
It's fair.
Someone who didn't grow up here.
It's the marriage of it all is amazing. And also coming from when I came from my neighborhood, it wasn't so free to understand, to where now you understand by without understanding because you have so much to look at. You didn't understand that it was a Bengali deli and this was a Jamaican corn. Like you didn't know. You just were like, yo, you were like, the chicken's really good and the bacon, egg, and cheese is really cheap. And it was like, that's all you did. Now you have so much more education because at your fingertips. Totally, totally different. But yeah, we grew up I definitely grew up in a very tight-knit neighborhood where, you know, I went to the same butcher every day, went to the same cheese guy, the same bakery. And to your point, it was all within walking distance of.
So you wanted to recreate that. You didn't do the tramezzini then?
No, we didn't do it. To be honest with you, I'm born in Brooklyn. Yeah. I didn't grow up with that. I knew that I had to do something a bit better. I knew I couldn't just do, you know, a boar's head sandwich. It just wasn't going to work. I went to a neighborhood that I thought was going to be the next neighborhood in New York City, and look at it now. I can't even believe it.
We're talking about the first store on Orchard Street, which is in what we call Dime Square.
Yeah.
Whether we like it, you know, whatever. You know.
Real estate.
We like the restaurant. We like the people from Dimes, and just say.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It's a real estate. It's a name. It's stuck.
Yeah, it's all good and it works, but I wanted to create what I thought was non-existent anymore, and I think at the time, a lot of these like QSR fast casual things were opening where it was single disciplinary, and I felt like I wasn't a food guy, and again we were all bullshitting outside, and the guys were like, yo, every Italian place that we grew up at was named after a person. They're like, what better person than Regina? And then the brand came.
Tell people who Regina is, please.
Regina's my mother. She's the mascot. She would be mad at me if I said that, but she is the mascot. We built a place to make her feel comfortable, but she was one of our best friends growing up. She's a friend of everyone's.
Crazy. It's insane.
Yeah.
Gotten to know everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone loves her.
Yeah, she's definitely more popular than me in a fixture in the neighborhood, and then we wanted to see if we could do it for ourselves. That was the biggest thing. I've worked with every brand. I worked with almost every artist I loved and listened to, and I was like, oh, if I'm good at this, let's see if I could do it for myself. And it was about building a brand. And
now those brands, whether they know you from back then or not, are coming and like they're popping up with you, they're collaborating with you. It's nice. You've really built something with it. It's really, really, really cool.
Thank you. And
it's
hence,
amazing to watch.
Hence Connected and hence all these things. It's where we're here today. We brought everything we had then into now, and it just feels right. And I think there was a turning point where food is now so much in culture that it's just timing.
I was about to be like, it's not all he does, because you're always. I'm like, you need wheat paste? Go to this guy. Go to this guy. Talk to me about you can feel free to keep eating. I know it's awkward to eat and talk sometimes on camera, but you have something coming up this weekend, because this is we're shooting live. We don't edit this, just so you know.
Oh, well, okay.
He's like, okay. Yeah. So the part about you talking about Bensonhurst being racist, no, I'm joking. The geopolitical conversation. But this will just go up tomorrow, and you have something going on this weekend, right?
Yeah, so we're starting something new that I've always been interested in the health space. I don't like what the health space does in health. It's phony. It's pink, green, palm tree, a stone. It's all the same shit. I hate it. But I always loved the industry. I worked out my entire life.
Yes.
It's always been a big part of my life and my way of then slowing down. But it's called Mixed Ingredients. It's a functional beverage bar cafe, and it's very to your need. And that's truly the whole entire concept.
And when is that open?
There's gonna be a soft launch on Saturday.
Okay, cool. Not related to you being at Family Fest.
Not Family Fest. No, Family Fest is a big monstrosity, which they're killing it.
But you're going to be, Regina's is going to be there.
But Regina's is going to be at Family Fest.
Exactly. So you got a couple things happening.
Yeah.
One, to the point with Regina's now, something like Family Fest is kind of turnkey, right?
Yes.
You're like, we go, we bring the tables, we make the sandwiches, we're done, we're in, we're out. You work, whatever. You're concentrating on not that you're not half-assing it at Family Fest.
No.
It's just
Family
you got the formula down, if you will, on how to pop up, right?
Yeah, Family Fest we got our practice when we went to LA, and we got destroyed. It was one of the. I truly haven't seen a festival that crazy or like in a food festival style that crazy in a long time. I
That's
truly,
crazy.
truly haven't seen anything like that. It was.
Well,
it was
we'll be going to
amazing.
both this weekend.
It was amazing.
Where's the new
Orchard,
store?
it's on 71 Orchard Street.
So right there.
Right here. We're keeping it on Sesame
My
Street.
guy. You got anything else you want to talk about? We like to keep it short here, so I'm gonna let you go soon. And we got to see what the Knicks are doing.
Pizza in Bed-Stuy, which is
Oh yeah. This
Soon.
guy. This.
soon.
Okay.
And then I think it's a wrap.
No, I don't think so. I think we're gonna have to have you back in a year, maybe less,
Yeah.
to talk about some other stuff. Roman,
That's it.
you've been a friend of mine for a long time. You're a younger guy. Sometimes you talk to me like I'm like you're older, OG, whatever. Not OG, but I know who your OGs are too. But you get what I'm saying. I consider you a friend, and I really appreciate you doing this. First episode of the new format of Snack Time.
Welcome back.
So thank you, bro. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. That's it. Thank you. Peace. We're gonna hug.
Yeah.
Snack time. All right. Great.